There's this
There
thing
it
I've been
is.
looking at. It's called the negative real yield. Bitcoin is going to go at least half a million dollars.
We're still up fairly significantly. I say significantly more than you're going to be making in any of the traditional markets. That's for damn sure. Now, I think the question is, are we going to go ahead and continue this uptrend, or are we going to go ahead and go down, or I don't know, continue to go sideways? Ron's, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we're going to go sideways for a long time. Well, I guess by the end of this year, yeah, I don't see us breaking out unless something a big economic shift happens. I think we're going to be in this 27-30K range. That this is what's been going on since March 22. Basically, the market is telling us this is the fair price of Bitcoin as of now. If it goes up, the bears will sell. If the price goes below 24,000, the bulls will buy, right? So yeah, I don't see anything that will cause the needle to move. But
No,
this is what's going to happen. There's this
there
thing
it
I've been
is.
looking at. It's called the negative real yield. Bitcoin is going to go at least half a million dollars. Sounds crazy,
Half a
but
million. What's the time
half a
frame?
million.
What's your crystal ball telling you there,
I want
brother?
to say 2026.
2026. I don't
Yes,
know. That doesn't sound unreasonable.
right.
Do you have any information on that?
I've been looking in. So with the government, they're spending a lot of money, right? Debt is piling up. Usually, to negate that, they'll bump up the rates, but the rates are already high. If they bump it up any higher, it's just going to implode the whole thing. Check this out. They also got to keep on spending like pension and disability. So that's going to cause that negative real yield. And for that, big money are going to go look elsewhere to get some yield, and they're going to look nowhere other than crypto, baby. So
There it
Bitcoin,
is.
Ethereum, yeah. So the economy is going to be. I don't want to sound grim. It's not in shambles, but that's where we're heading, and that's what's going to cause some face melting action when it's going to go to like when we see 100K, that's going to trigger like that psychological effect where that FOMO sets in. That's going to drive the price really high. But it's true. I mean, we're already seeing smart money already going in, going all in Bitcoin, right? So it's just a matter of time. We're just waiting, and it's a good time to get some in. Not financial advice.
Never financial advice here, folks. Never.
That's right.
That's
Never.
right.
And
Um,
yeah,
let me
one
ask
more.
you.
Well, one more thing, John. I'm sorry before I forget.
Oh man,
It's a little bit
what you
more
got?
juice. Not and that's just not a dead thing, John. AI. I've been looking at AI. I've been looking at AI. AI is just gonna exponentially grow production. The economy is gonna go through the roof so fast that the Fed can't keep up printing money. Right. So when that happens, that's gonna cause the the bond yields will be left in the dust.
I
So
don't
when
know.
that
Sounds like the robots are taking over.
happens,
But I think with that all, with kidding aside, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of positive in the space, but there's some indicators that are kind of pointing to a potential downturn. And one of the followers that I was, on Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter, he had posted this. Let me know that you see this here. What are we looking at? This is consumer spending. Why does consumer spending matter at all to our space? Well, it's a domino effect. As consumer spending starts to decrease and start to significantly decrease, then what happens here is the traditional markets react to it in a negative manner. Traditional markets then, in return, impact our market. Now, most of the time, we align with traditional markets, but it's not to say that we could go against the grain and start to go in the opposite direction if, I don't know, S&P starts to crash. Something to be mindful of is consumer spending. If people are not spending, there could be a potential domino effect downturn in economy, companies stop spending, increasing what they need to for their employees. They may go through some layoffs, and it's a ripple effect. No pun intended. I think that these are some things that you got to worry about. There are some folks that are calling 10,000 for the year, 10,000 for the year, which could be that black swan effect that you were talking about a few
Hmm.
episodes ago. So I don't know. You keeping any money on the sidelines? Any money in USDC or Tether?
Yeah, yeah, I got some on the sidelines already, ready to go, ready to be deployed,
There it
ready to
is.
pounce.
Yeah. Be prepared. That's my motto. You
Yes,
don't know, right? But there's that potential that this thing goes straight to the moon, and we'll have to
John,
see.
it's gonna pass the moon. It's going intergalactic.
There it is. There it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Drop the mic. Where is that? Boom. So I agree. I think there's a very good potential that we could go right the opposite. We're not hitting 10,000. We're not hitting 15. We're hitting
Yeah.
50, 60, straight to 100. Who knows? Right?
Hmm.
We don't want to create hopium, folks. Always make sure that you guys are always doing your own research. I think that's important. And what do we know? Right?
Right.
That's it. We're just a couple
That's it.
guys up here. Well, I'm wearing a silly hat. So
I really can't see. It can, right? Technically, it can, but there's so much money already. BlackRock, Fidelity, they're already heavily invested in Bitcoin, Grayscale,
yeah.
Mike Novogratz. For it to go 10K, I mean, when you see a dip, people are going to be buying. That's why we're in this range for a long time, since March of 2022.
Yeah. I mean, there's a significant amount of holders out there. That's for sure. When you take a look at those numbers as well. I think the question is we've been going sideways for quite a long time, pretty much since March. Seems to me like the market's being held down or fairly level uh, for the year for the most part. However, if you were to have gotten in back in January 1st, you're up fairly significantly because we were down pretty low at the beginning of the year, very beginning of the year. Um, Seems to me like, in my opinion, that was bottom, but we'll have to see how this plays out. I
Yeah.
don't think that we're going to 10,000. I don't know that I don't know that there is the potential for that black swan impact or effect, but who knows?